To the latest edition of New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our assignment desk, otherwise known as my compost heap. Let's see what stories we're working on at this hour. Hey, if you see somebody suspicious trying to disguise himself downtown, take a close look and see if his name is Sim Levenhartz. He's a slumlord who, as of Thursday, was hiding out from the cops. Sim drove his car downtown to go to a hearing of the city's anti-blight agency, which was fining him $200,000 for the mess he's been leaving at the corner of Fitch and Whaley, where there's a commercial building that's been a mess forever. As he got there, according to his lawyer, he got tipped off that there was also an arrest warrant for him for criminal violations. So he scooted as though that's kosher. Kudos to the city anti-blight agency for doing the fines, making criminal cases, and I think they're going to catch up with Sim no matter what disguises he wears. Well, there was a Rice surprise this week at a convention, a Democratic convention to endorse a candidate for Congress in the 3rd Congressional District, New Haven. Of course, it went to Rosa DeLauro, who has served in the seat since 1991, is one of the most powerful in the country, and is a hero to left-leaning activist groups nationally. But a challenger from her left who has no name recognition, no organizational support, and no electoral experience named Andrew Rice had a surprisingly strong showing. Rice managed to get 45 votes at the convention compared to DeLauro's 294. I mean, she'll win if there's a primary. He didn't automatically qualify for a primary, but it looks like he might have the support to get petitions to have a primary challenger from the left. I think this reflects nationwide how the base is restive in the Democratic Party from the left and for generational change. Well, there was some hopeful news this week for soup kitchens and others who feed the hungry and the people who go those places, because there might be more money than we thought in the upcoming fiscal year budget that starts July 1st for the city. The Ellick administration, you might remember, had proposed cutting all $500,000 was spent last year on feeding the hungry from this year's budget. But now state legislators came through from New Haven with a big influx of money at the last minute. That's going to allow the city to fully fund the Compost Crisis Intervention Team, which is so important. The city's new shelter for the homeless on Route 80 was so important. And the Ellick administration has also now proposed putting back $350,000 of that $500,000 that was cut. Now the Board of Alders has a challenge. The heavy lifting was done to bring the new money. As they refine this budget proposal before voting on it, I think they could find that $150,000 so that the growing numbers of people hungry in New Haven still get some food. Well, pretty soon when this vehicle and others are driving down Elm Street and get to college, they might be passing John Wilhelm Corner. The Board of Alders has started the process to rename the corner after the legendary labor leader, John Wilhelm, who helped organize, led the charge for Local 34, the clerical and technical workers at Yale. The success fighting back Yale through a tough strike raised wages for people throughout New Haven and working conditions, and he went on to become a national labor leader, an honor well earned. Well, a federal judge named Segal this week put a gag order on our mayor, Justin Ellicker, and his staff. The judge is presiding over a trial in Hartford, filed by one of two men wrongfully convicted of a double murder in 1990 by New Haven police, by a compromised cop, and now seeking damages. He and the city couldn't reach a settlement, unlike his co-defendant, so there's a trial. The judge summoned the mayor, immediately coming to Hartford because she was so mad that he gave a mild general statement to reporters about how there was no settlement reached. Her argument was that he has tainted the juror pool, even though she has ordered the jurors not to follow the news so they can't read or listen to what he said. Meanwhile, she has gagged him and his whole staff from not only not discussing settlement talks in the press, but from making any public comments about the case. That's outrageous. He has First Amendment rights, and we need to be able to hear from our public officials. I'm hoping that once the gag is lifted, we can hear more from our notoriously non-transparent mayor about his decisions rather than less. For instance, at some point we're going to have to find out why in this case he decided to have the city say in open court that the compromised cop who fabricated the evidence that sent these people away to prison for 40 years collectively did nothing wrong. Until next time, this is the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, and remember, let's always pick up and recycle our trash and our trash judges and politicians while we still can.